Hello everyone, in this lecture we will discuss the operation of BiCmos inverter. So BiCmos inverter refers to, it is a technology where we are going to combine both bipolar technology as well as CMOS technology in single integrated circuit. So why it is necessary? Why? Because when we combine both technologies, we can extract the advantages of both technologies, such as, for example, if you take CMOS device, it has better packing density. That means you can pack many devices in the less amount of space. As well as if you take bipolar technology, it has higher switching speeds. So it works very faster than the CMOS technology. So that is why, in order to have both advantages, we are going to create a mixed signal IC. So where both advantages are inculcated at one place. So a BiCmos inverter consists of a PMOS transistor and one NMOS transistor and two NPN bipolar junction transistors. So here you can see the circuit diagram where we have the first stage consisting of CMOS inverter, that means one N-type transistor and one P-type MOS transistor. So they will perform the operation of inverter, and at the next stage we have two NPN transistors which will perform the driving of next stages. So coming to the operation of BiCmos inverter, so whenever the V input, so V in is high voltage, that means VDD, the highest possible voltage. So you can see the NMOS transistor, okay, so Q1 is turned on, as well as it will cause Q1. So the bottom transistors, M1 transistor as well as Q1 transistors, both are turned on. Why? Because M1 transistor is enhancement mode device which requires high input voltage in order to meet the requirements of threshold voltages. So whenever we have applied the voltage which is greater than the threshold voltage of M1, that means enhancement device, so it will start conducting, so which supplies current to the next stage transistor, that is nothing but Q1. So both transistors are in conduction, both M1 and Q1 are in conduction. So you can see they will create a path from V out to ground. So the output is pulled down to the logic 0. So the output voltage is low voltage, which is nothing but 0. And now we will see the operation whenever we have applied the input is low voltage, that means logic 0. So whenever we have applied the input is logic 0, so the upper transistors are come into conduction while the lower transistors are in off state. So why? Because the upper pull-up transistor P-type device requires very low voltage for its application, for its operation, so that M2 transistor is turned on. So it will cause the Q2 bipolar transistor also turns on. So because it supplies current to the Q2 such that both M2 and Q2 are in conduction now. So they will create the path from VDD to output. So now the output is pulled to logic high, where we can observe the logic 1 as output. So while the lower transistors M1 and Q1 transistors are turned off. So we have observed the inverter operation of BiCmos inverter now. Now let us see the advantages of this BiCmos inverter technology. So once if you look at the advantages of CMOS technology, so the following are the advantages of CMOS technology. So CMOS technology will have less static power dissipation. That means whenever they are switching, during that time only they will consume power. The other times they will require very less power dissipation. They will consume very less power. And these have very much higher noise margins. They are less disturbed by the noise voltages. And these have very high packing density. That means many devices are created in the small amount of area. And lower manufacturing cost. since the fabrication steps involved in CMOS technologies are very much easier, so we require less cost for fabricating CMOS devices, and these have very high input impedance, so which will require very less current to drive them, and we can scale the threshold voltage up to any value. So it is also one of the good advantages of CMOS technology, and it will have bi-directional capability. That means source and drain terminals are exchanged and can be used simultaneously. Next, coming to the advantages of bipolar technology. So these offer very higher switching speed. That means these are faster than the CMOS technology devices, and these have higher current driving capabilities, and these can handle higher power also, and these will provide higher gain. That means these will amplify the signals very much effectively, and these will possess better noise performance, as well as these have higher bandwidths, so these will possess high frequency characteristics as well. Now coming to the combination of these two advantages, BiCmos inverter will provide us the improved benefits over the other technologies. That means, so we can have improved current drive over CMOS technologies. That means CMOS devices are lagging in current handling capabilities. So with the combination of bipolar technology inside the BiCmos, so we can improve their current handling capabilities, and we can improve the packing density of BiCmos device with the help of CMOS technology, since it has borrowed the packing density advantage from CMOS technology. So we can pack many ICs, we can pack many devices in single ICs. Similarly, these will consume less power than bipolar technology. Why? Because we have introduced CMOS devices into the BiCmos technology. So CMOS technologies will require low power, henceforth we will be having less amount of power consumption by the usage of BiCmos inverters, and these will have more speed than the CMOS technologies. As we already know that bipolar devices have higher switching speeds, so the speed improvement can be necessarily high in the BiCmos inverter. And now coming to the few drawbacks of BiCmos inverter. So these require higher costs because we are going to fabricate CMOS devices and bipolar devices into single IC. So the fabrication costs are much higher than the individual technologies, and it requires many procedural steps, that means mass stages, because many steps are involved in the fabrication of BiCmos inverter. So it will take more time to fabricate, and it requires careful method of investigation while manufacturing that particular BiCmos device. Thank you so much.